Haha. Now look too zoomed in. Boy, I can't. You know what it is? Sorry, everyone. Give me a second to zoom out. You know what it is? It's that I do different shows during the course of the week, and each show needs like a different perspective with the camera. And today, is that good? That's better. Still a little too close, I think. Today, I was doing my Crash Bandicoot 2 gameplay, which has a face cam, and I had to have the camera zoomed more in, and unfortunately, it got way too close. There we go. It got way too close. And now here we are. So now it's a lot better. Hello, everyone, and welcome. DSP here, and this is the Weekend Preview. Today is October 4th, 2015. Thank you for watching the video. It's going to be a big, eventful week. This is going to be a very important video covering not only what you're going to see this week, but also it's going to cover some important questions regarding the possibility of that Halloween event that may happen later this month. And we're also going to cover basically a summary of everything you can expect this month. Because what I want you to know is exactly what I will and won't be playing over the course of October, so that there's no misconceptions and people are confused about will I be playing this or that, etc. I'm going to do my best to clarify in this video, alright? Almost like a month-long summary. So, let's talk. It is October 4th. October has started, ladies and gentlemen. And I do want to say thank you to everyone who did pledge to my Patreon, right there, in the month of September. The good news is, we had over 150 people pledge, which is just on par with every month usually what we have. The bad news is, unfortunately, we got the bad eggs who put in false pledges, fake bidding, and, you know, they drove up the amount that it looked like I was going to have achieved on Patreon by around, I'd say probably around $300, quite honestly. And because of that, it was uncertain how much I had actually raised and if we were going to be able to hit our top goal, which for the month of September was if I did $1,250 of fundraising, I was going to do a Halloween mini marathon event where patrons who pledged $5 or more are going to be able to both nominate and vote on what games they want to see me play in this horror marathon on Halloween. And even I was out yesterday, out and about, and Leanna and I went to a temporary Halloween store in our area, and I saw some cool ideas. I said, man, if I do this Halloween marathon, I could do face cam, I could wear a costume. This could be pretty sweet. So I'm actually really excited, but I'm going to stick to my guns, and I said this, I'm going to stick to my guns, and I'm only going to do the event if we hit the funding level. Because if I just do the event willy-nilly without having hit the funding level, it means nothing. That means that people won't be motivated to pledge in the future because they'll say, oh, it's okay. If Phil doesn't hit the goal, he'll still do the event anyway. The point of a goal on Patreon is that I do something out of the ordinary, something that I normally wouldn't do, all right, in order to reward the patrons. So, for example, I've now done 5 marathons this year, including 3 indie marathons and 2 Crash Bandicoot marathons. That's crazy. I never, ever did marathons before. I did 5 of them in 2015, and for the most part, people seem to really enjoy them. So that's how it works. Now, some people, unfortunately, I hate to say this, trying to stir up drama, you know who these people are, I don't have to name them, saying that, but Phil's only doing this, he's making you pay for things that he's done for free before. Bullshit. I haven't done a full-fledged, day-long Halloween special in 3 years. You want to know the last time I did it? Because I can tell you, it was 2012, and I did a marathon of certain games, a lot of which ended up sucking, so it wasn't a great marathon either. And the reason I did it, because in 2012, I probably had about double the viewership that I have today. So when I'm making a ridiculous amount of money, it doesn't matter if I'm in the middle of a main game playthrough or not, a big mainstream game that everyone wants to see. I could take the time out to do a Halloween special. 2015 Dark Side Phil is not 2012 Dark Side Phil, unfortunately, as you can see. I don't get anywhere near as much viewership as I did back then, and because of that, I have to work on the things that are more important. So as a reward, if I did raise this amount of funding, I said, okay, I could take the day away from those main games, which we're going to talk about in a moment, by the way. I'm going to talk about what games I'll be in the middle of at the end of the month. In order to do a Halloween marathon. And I really want to do one. You know, previous years, like the past 2 years, I didn't get to do one. Previous years, like 2 years ago in 2013, I didn't do anything for Halloween. Leanna actually visited like that weekend, and we did a very short, it wasn't even 2 hours of Fatal Frame 3, but it wasn't like a Halloween event or anything like that. And last year, I really didn't get to do anything. The only thing I did was like an hour of Tomodachi Life on the 3DS, where I just dressed them up in costumes, because I've been so busy around this time of year that I don't have time to do it. So I really would like to do it. So here's an update for everyone, because I tweeted this out last night, but I want to put this officially in a video, all right? As of right now, we are close to hitting the goal. I can tell you right now, we are around $100 away from hitting our goal to do the Halloween marathon. However, there were 20 patrons in the month of September who pledged, who were all declined. Now, I don't know why they were declined. It could be because they had incorrect information. It could be because there was insufficient funds in their accounts for whatever their pledges were. It could be that they were fake pledges. And that's the problem, is I get the feeling one or two of these pledges were probably fake. And that's unfortunate because, like I said, people looking, oh, look, Phil's going to hit the goal, hit the goal. Oh, it says he exceeded the goal, and I didn't. All right? So, I have contacted, as of this morning, the 20 people who pledged to me in September for Patreon, and for whatever reason they were declined. If we can get a handful of those people to update their info, fix it, and go through, we're going to do this Halloween marathon. But I mean, people have to take action on this. It can't, I told you, I cannot just do it out of the kindness of my heart. Then no one will pledge, because people will say, what's the point? Phil's just going to do these special events anyway. So I can't. I have to stick to my guns. It's a motivating factor to get people to pledge. And I'll tell you, I've actually got a really interesting one coming up in November. There's something I would like to do in late November or early December that I've got an idea for. And I really would like to do this, but again, it's going to be a goal level, and if we don't hit the goal, I have to stick to my guns and not do it. So we'll see. I'll keep everyone informed in the next day or two to let you know if anyone updated their info on Patreon. I actually got one message from one person saying they had, and that it says it's going to go through. So if we can get a handful, maybe 5-10 people, hopefully out of the 20, update their info and their pledges go through, I think we're going to hit that goal. All right? I'll keep everyone in the loop over the next couple of days. The problem is we're at the mercy of Patreon and at the mercy of these people to fix their pledge info. Hopefully they weren't all false bids, which would really suck. All right. I see false bids. I meant false pledges, by the way. So that's all I'm going to talk about for Patreon. You'll hear more about that this week, and then later in the month when I set up the goals and everything for next month. All right. So let's talk about now this week what you can expect. And then what I want to do is outline the rest of the month for you so you know what games to expect this month, because there are several games that I'm skipping out on. And I'm going to preface this video with this, just so there's no misconceptions. I very strongly considered playing both Rock Band 4 and Guitar Hero Live this year. Unfortunately, at this point, I've decided against it. And the reason I've decided against it is very simple. I already had massive copyright issues, false copyright issues, okay, from trolls and detractors just a couple months ago. If you remember, in August, I had all these false copyright strikes, and I lost my ability to stream for a week or so, and it was a pain in the ass. Not to say that I was in jeopardy of losing my whole business, but I wasn't able to fully work the way that I wanted to for a few weeks, and I'm worried. I'm worried that if I play these music games, regardless, even if, because I think Harmonix came out and said, well, if you play Rock Band, don't worry, we're not going to flag you for the music. But I get the feeling it won't matter, because YouTube's copyright system is such a broken piece of shit. What's to stop someone else from impersonating, I don't know, some music group and saying, oh, Darkside Phil used this song in this video, and I am the legal copyright holder. And even if they're not, since YouTube's system is completely fucking automated, they'll just run the algorithm, oh yeah, the song matches, and give me a copyright strike. So, I'm sorry everyone, I'm telling you right now, I want to play Rock Band, I want to play Guitar Hero, I want to do these things, but there's nowhere I have opportunity to do it without losing my business. At least right now, as of right now. It sucks, it's a shitty situation, I think that it should be fixed, I think that YouTube should stop their bullshit, they need to fix their copyright system, but they didn't yet, and it's too much of a risk to lose the business, or even just for a few days to a week. If I just lose it then, it's too much. I can't, I need my business operating every day to make money, and pay my bills. And there's too many malicious trolls out there who are abusing the system, finding the loopholes in their piece of shit automated system. And unfortunately, it looks like that's kind of the route I have to take, okay? So that being said, what am I playing this week, and what am I playing this month? Tomorrow, Monday, I'm going to resume with Crash Bandicoot 2. For those who weren't here today, I played a big stream of Crash Bandicoot 2, about 3 hours of content. I'm around 70% through the game at this point, and I advanced maybe around 15% today, but I'm at like the hardest part of the game. People are actually saying, Phil, the stage you're on right now is the hardest stage. And there are tough stages coming up, but this is by far the hardest, so if you can beat this, yes, you'll be able to tackle the rest of the game. So I'm in the middle of that stage right now, and I'm going to continue that tomorrow on first stream. maybe I can beat Crash Bandicoot 2 on first stream. If I can, great. If not, I'm probably going to continue it second stream and try to finish off the game. That way there's no lingering playthrough that I never finished. I don't have to hear from people, you know, who watched the marathon back in July that I scammed them. That was another thing that I'm going to be honest, I'm angry about. I'm not even upset. I'm fucking pissed because people for a month tried to say that I scammed them because I promised a full Crash Bandicoot 2 playthrough when I did that marathon as a Patreon reward back in July, which I never did. People completely made shit up, and unfortunately people fall for it. People are gullible, and they believe what they're told rather than looking in black and white at the facts, where it's just, I never promised a full playthrough of Crash Bandicoot 2, and no one asked for me to play the game in August when I was asking what game should I play. No one asked me to play it. But I said, you know what, I've got 2 days now, today and tomorrow, Monday, where there's nothing really going on before the new releases hit this week, so I'll play it. So that's what I'm doing tomorrow. Now, if I beat Crash Bandicoot 2 earlier tomorrow, then I'm going to do on second stream the hopeful conclusion to the Moon. This is an indie game that I've been playing all year. I'm near the end, but I haven't gotten to the end. I need about an hour and a half to 2 hours to finish it. So it'll be perfect for second stream, but we'll see what happens with that. I need to finish, definitely need to finish Crash Bandicoot before I finish up To the Moon. All right. So that's tomorrow. Tuesday, new releases. All right. What releases am I playing this week? Well, there's 3 that I'm interested in playing. Number 1, Transformers Devastation is top of my list because I'm a huge G1, Generation 1 Transformers fan. I grew up with the Transformers cartoons, the Transformers movie. I loved the Transformers. I hate the fact that Michael Bay bastardized and destroyed the fucking Transformers during his run with these fucking movies. And yeah, he's making a 5th one now, if you can fucking believe it. Unbelievable. These people who go fucking pay to see that shit. I just don't get it. But they're making, you know, this new game is coming out this week, and it's made by Platinum Games. You remember Platinum Games, you know, the makers of Bayonetta, the makers of Metal Gear Solid Rising Revenge, you know, the people who have made really great games. And of course some crappy ones too, but some really good ones. I'm hoping they did a good job with this because I would love to go through a rip-roaring, action-packed G1 Transformers game this week with you. And I hope that you're excited like I am because I love Transformers. The Transformers playthroughs that I've done over the years are actually some of the best viewed, I would say, of all the ones that I've ever done, and I hope that you'll join me for Transformers Devastation this week, okay? So that's my number 1 focus. Number 2, Metal Gear Solid Online is released this week on Tuesday. So for everyone who bought Metal Gear Solid 5 and beat it, now you can play the game again because Metal Gear Solid Online is supposed to launch. Of course, everyone's kind of uncertain. How is this going to be? Is it going to be worth playing? Because now Konami, you know, kind of shit the bed and they got rid of Kojima and his team. So is anyone at Konami even really working on this fucking thing at this point? Or is this just like a, you know what I mean, like an afterthought? Oh yeah, they were working on this, just release it. If it doesn't work, fuck it. No one knows. It's up in the air. It's kind of an uncertain thing. So if it works, great. If not, then screw it. Because there is a 3rd game that I want to play this week, Disgaea 5. And it was actually some 5+ years ago when I played Disgaea 4. It was a big departure from my comfort zone, and I sucked at first. But once I kept playing Disgaea 4, I got much better at it, and I was able to actually excel at it and do really well. So, the good news about Disgaea 5, couple things. Number 1, it's on PlayStation 4, so you're going to have better graphics and everything than PlayStation 3. And number 2, PlayStation 4 has remote play. So that means even if I'm sucking at the game, maybe I can spend an hour or 2 at night grinding using my PS Vita when I'm downstairs with Leanna, maybe watching some television or whatever. You know, at night I spend a couple hours relaxing and watching stuff with Leanna. And maybe then I could, you know, get ahead. Because I remember when I played Disgaea 4, I grinded every night. I could probably do that now too, okay? So that's a very strong possibility. I'm going to be starting that sometime this week. Let me explain the schedule, all right? Tuesday, first stream will definitely be Transformers. Second stream, I want to play Metal Gear Online if it works. If it doesn't, it'll be Disgaea. Wednesday, gonna probably be more Transformers, and then hopefully Metal Gear Online. If it doesn't work, Disgaea. What I'm thinking is by, say, Thursday, Friday at the latest, I'm gonna be beating either Transformers or be so tired of Metal Gear Online that I won't want to play it anymore. So whatever happens first, Disgaea will take over that slot full time, okay? And that'll carry us into next week. So the weekend, you know, you'll see a full session on Sunday of probably one of the games, and then Monday will be split between 2 games. So you're gonna have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yes, all 4 days, I'm going to try to do 2 streams. If anything changes that, I'll let you know. But all 4 days, I'm going to try to do 2 gameplay streams, all right? And it's going to be those 3 games kind of rotating around. Now, announcement, okay? This Saturday, I'm taking the day off, not from totally working, but from streaming and gameplay this Saturday. This is probably the final day I'm going to take off until, say, near the end of the year, when I'm going to maybe go into Seattle with Leanna and spend some time there for the holidays, a couple days, I'm thinking. But I'm going to take one day off this Saturday. I want to do something fall-related, because we've lived here now for over a year. We've done almost nothing locally. You know, everything we do is like go to a store, go to a restaurant, but we haven't taken in the local culture. We haven't seen the local sites. And there's actually this really cool pumpkin patch at a local farm. They have a corn maze and stuff like that we want to do. So this Saturday, we're going to take the day off because we have to go in the morning. You can't go at night. They close early. Go in the morning. Go there. We're going to film. We're going to vlog us picking pumpkins, us going maybe through the corn maze and everything that's at this cool farm. So we're going to do some cool vlogging for you this Saturday, okay? There also will be a new DSP Tries-It this Saturday that will be released. So there will be content for you this Saturday. It just won't be gameplay. It's going to be vlogging, all right? But then Sunday, we'll return back to the normal routine and we'll get into the gameplay again. So, 2 streams. 2 streams on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. The games will be Transformers Devastation, Disgaea 5, and Metal Gear Solid Online, kind of rotating around. And, of course, every night I'll update you at night on Twitter, at They Call Me DSP, with the updated schedule so you know exactly what I'll be playing the next day. All right, so that's fun. 3 completely new games. We're finished off all the overdue lingering playthroughs that have been going on for the past several months, and we really can move ahead forward positively into this hardcore gaming season with all the new stuff. I hope you're going to join me for that this week, but I'm not done. Now let's talk about the rest of this month so you know what to expect from me, okay? I just want to let everyone know I am picking up the Uncharted collection. I'm not going to be playing it now, but I am going to pick up the Uncharted collection. I think it's the Nathan Drake collection, it's called, for PlayStation 4, for a possible replay, you know, with the newer graphics of Uncharted 2 and possibly 3 as a lead-in to when Uncharted 4 comes out sometime next year, all right? So FYI, I am getting that collection. Just want to throw that out there so everyone knows. So, the second week of October, I'm going to be focusing on whatever's left over. So if any of those games, I'm assuming Disgaea will be, because Disgaea is probably an insanely long game like the last one was, right? I'm going to be focusing on that. And the new games for October, the second week of October, are the first DLC release for The Witcher 3, which the name eludes me. I knew what it was, and I lost it. It was on the top of my head. It's supposed to be around 12 hours long, which means if I play it on and off all week, I should beat it. So we're going to be balancing that with Disgaea 5, and I want to see what people have to say about this. Dragon Quest Heroes. This is a game from the makers of Dynasty Warriors. Think Hyrule Warriors. Remember Hyrule Warriors from a couple years back? It was the combination of The Legend of Zelda with Dynasty Warriors gameplay. Well, take that off the fucking Wii U and put it on the PlayStation 4 so it's going to be gorgeous, 60 frames per second. I love the Dragon Quest games. For those who don't know, I actually played Dragon Quest, I think it's 1 through 8. All the ones that were on the Nintendo 3DS, I've played every single one of them, and I love that series of games. I just never got to play the more modern ones. I think there was an 8 and 9. Yeah, 8 was on PS2, I think. And wasn't there one 9 on some console that I don't know? I didn't play those. But this is supposed to take all the characters from the Dragon Quest games and put them into that Dynasty Warriors. Plus, it has RPG elements to it, supposedly, that are different from, say, just Hyrule Warriors. There's actually RPG elements. So that's a pretty unique game, and I want to check that out. So that's what I'm thinking for the second week of October. Now, if someone's like, oh, I heard this game sucks, don't play it or whatever, let me know. But I'm curious, how would you like that for the second week of October? Does that sound good? Now, games that I've left out here, Yoshi's Woolly World. That game is coming out on October 16th in the United States. It's already been out in the entire world for 4 months. I shit you not. Everywhere else in the world, Europe, Japan, all these other markets have already had this game for 4 months. But they delayed it in the United States because they wanted to fucking produce and sell amiibos with it. Because Nintendo is a bunch of greedy fucks. They don't care about the game. They care about selling amiibos because that's where their profit margin is. So I didn't get to play the game when it was new. Therefore, Yoshi's Woolly World, I want to play it, but it's definitely not a priority because everyone else who wanted to see it probably has already seen somewhere else somewhere else in the world play it, all right? That's going to be a co-op playthrough that I'm going to do with Leanna eventually. When things cool down, when the hardcore gaming season slows down, and now we have a little bit more time, that's probably something we'll do once a week on Saturdays, okay? But we're not doing that yet, FYI. That's going to come up later in the future, but I am picking that up that week, okay? The third week of October, all right? This is an interesting one because I'm thinking there's going to be leftovers now, at least from the first 2 weeks of October. There's going to be games I haven't beaten, whether it's Disgaea 5 or Dragon Quest or whatever. I know we're going to have leftovers. The only major release for the earlier part of the third week of October is Tales of Zestiria, excuse me. I'm going to pick it up, but I'm not going to play it right away. Tales of Zestiria, I've already played this series of game before. I feel this is a kind of game that, like, for a cool summer playthrough, right, this could be, or maybe some of the downtime earlier next year, say, late January, February, if there's not a ton of games coming out, that would be a cool few weeks that I could play Tales of Zestiria. But right now, I don't think it should be a focus. I think it would distract, especially because I'm playing Disgaea 5. I already have been playing that for weeks. It would take the focus off of that. I don't want to do that, so I'm going to pick up Tales of Zestiria, but I'm not going to be playing it. However, on October 20th, the final episode of Life is Strange is coming out. So, for those of you who saw episode 4, holy fucking shit. That was a crazy-ass episode with a huge twist ending we never saw coming. How is this going to all end? We're going to find out, and the episode is supposed to be released October 20th, so I'll definitely be doing that week. I'll be trying to finish up leftover stuff from whatever was left over from the month, and that Friday, Assassin's Creed Syndicate comes out. So I'll start playing Assassin's Creed Syndicate that Friday to carry us into the weekend. The final week of October, we've got both Halo 5 and WWE 2K16. Now, I don't have a co-op team for Halo 5. I know that John Rambo obviously is not doing co-op with me anymore. And, you know, who else would I recruit? The Area Lord, who played a previous Halo game. I think he played Halo 4 with us. He's over in Great Britain right now on going abroad and studying and stuff. So he's out of the question. I may or may not be looking for people who are interested in playing Halo 5 with me. When I say that, I mean the campaign. The campaign is a co-op campaign. So if you're interested, and you're obviously someone who I know and trust. Sorry, if you're someone who I'd never heard of before, chances are I can't trust you, alright? Message me. You guys know how to reach me on Twitter or email me at darksidefil@hotmail.com and let me know if that week you're interested in maybe doing the co-op campaign. Worst case scenario, I'll play through Halo 5 solo, and I don't think that's a terrible scenario anyway. I've played through them before solo, no problem, but it would be cool maybe to do some co-op if it's possible. So Halo 5, and of course WWE 2K16, are you kidding me? I'm so psyched for this year because Stone Cold Steve Austin campaign, holy shit, who doesn't like the fucking rattlesnake? You know what I mean? The Texas Rattlesnake is an awesome wrestler. He's quintessential with that Attitude Era. We're going to go through his entire career in the story mode. It's going to be such a good story mode, seriously. And if you haven't heard, they dramatically improved the game this year. They brought back 100 created wrestlers. So, ladies and gentlemen, I can actually do my Sims again. Remember how I stopped doing Sims because there was only 20 created wrestlers and I couldn't even store enough wrestlers to do a pay-per-view and like a fantasy match? 100 created wrestlers are back. Tons of new creativity things have been put into the character creator now. Like, basically, they really upgraded the fuck out of the game this year because everyone complained that 2K15 was shit. So, I'm really excited for WWE this year. And yes, I will be bringing back, at least for this year, some simulations and things. So, a lot of potential for nice, fun future content coming out of WWE 2K16. So, that's all the stuff that's guaranteed for this month. Games, like I told you, that I'm not playing right away, but I am picking up Uncharted Collection, Yoshi's Woolly World, and Tales of Zestiria. I will be picking up, but they may be played at a later date, alright? Now, if we do hit this Patreon goal, alright, then that final day of the month, October 31st, it's a Saturday, I'll be doing a marathon day of horror games, and it will be the patrons who donated, who pledged. It's not a donation, it's a pledge, and I should say that. $5 or more in the month of September. They'll be nominating and voting on what horror-themed games to see me play. I'll dress up in a costume, and that'll be a fun way to celebrate not only Halloween, but the end of the month to move into November. Another crazy-ass gaming month coming in November, but we'll talk about that when we get to it, alright? So, I hope I just gave you a very thorough preview of what to expect for the entire month of October. This week starting strong with the conclusion of Crash 2, Transformers Devastation, Metal Gear Solid Online, and Disgaea 5. That's a lot of fun stuff for 1 week, in my opinion. I hope, and as you can see, one major change I made this year from last year. I purposely am weeding out the games that I know are not going to fit and I won't have time to play. And I'm saving them for a future date. I'm not going to do what I did last year, where I promised everyone I'm going to play every game, and then I ended up not playing games for 5 days at a time, and no one was satisfied because everyone was like, it takes too long for you to play the next game. I know that was a fuck-up. That was the first time that kind of thing ever happened. I'm going to do my best to juggle the games and make it so that we're not doing so many games at a time anymore. Maybe 2-3 tops a week, if that. Okay, that's why I said the second, third weeks of October, there's not a lot coming out. Fine, I'll finish up and keep playing the games that I'm playing rather than, oh no, another game, now I'll never get back to them. Alright? So, Thank you, everyone. I want to say that. I want to say one quick thing. Please, don't take stuff for granted. And the reason I'm saying that is because I did in the month of September. I really didn't mention Patreon that much. I just kept saying to everyone, oh, we've hit my Patreon goal all month. Don't worry. And the next thing I know, at the last minute, we're scrambling because it didn't look like I was going to hit the goal. I took it for granted. I get the feeling a lot of people take my content for granted. I'll be honest. I've been doing this since 2008, right? I've been doing it daily since 2008. I rarely take time off. When I do, it's very quick. It's rare when there's a day when there's no new video, no new stream, no new content. And I think a lot of people take it for granted. The reason I'm bringing this up, the month of September for me was not good. All right? And the reason I'm saying this, you might have thought, what? But I don't understand. Yeah, you came off really strong off of this really amazing Until Dawn playthrough that had great views and everything. Absolutely, you're right. You're right there. You started Metal Gear Solid 5. That did good, right? Well, yes and no. Metal Gear Solid 5 did really good for me that first week. And immediately after that first week, everyone was like, well, it's just Metal Gear. And people stopped watching the playthrough. Now, I don't know if people will eventually keep watching that playthrough as they progress in the game, but I'll tell you, the viewership went from really good that first week to abysmally to almost nothing by the end of the month. And being that that game was so fucking long and it was a major focus of September, the fact that almost no one even talked about any other game. Mad Max, almost completely ignored, swept under the rug. No one talked about it. Soma, a game that I loved. Almost, not really survival horror, but a good psychological game where I could give a lot of commentary. No one really paid attention to it. And, the only real other thing that got any attention in September was Super Mario Maker. And I am happy that that came out because that was my second best thing of the month. But I'm going to be honest with everyone. September, a month when normally I would have thought, wow, because of all the games coming out, I would have done well. It's my actual worst month of this year. And that's fucking crazy. I did better, overall business-wise, during the summer when there were no new games, right? When I was just juggling other stuff. I did better earlier this year when we had dud months. Like February, where all the games sucked, like Evolve in the Order. That month did better than September. September, I couldn't believe it. I just looked at the results because they finally tallied them up or whatever on YouTube. I looked at the analytics. I was like, I actually had the worst month ever in September of this year. How the fuck did that happen? Because I didn't realize it. I don't think anyone realized it. I think people are taking it for granted. Well, Phil's here. He's playing the new game, so he's doing well. And that wasn't the case in September. I actually did better during downtime of the summer than when the newer games came out in September. That's fucking crazy, and that's the first time it's ever happened. The reason I'm bringing this up, is because I want to keep doing this full-time as a business. You know what I mean? I love it. I've done this since 2008. I've done it as a job since late 2010. I can't have the busiest gaming season of the year be my worst time. I just can't. I will not survive. I won't be able to keep doing this. So I hope, really, that some of these games coming up are interesting to you. I hope that if you like them, you'll watch the full playthroughs, that you'll spread the word, you'll watch the reviews. Because, by the way, I took a lot of time out in September to do 4 different reviews. And, the Metal Gear Solid review did great, and everything else, and that's what I mean. If I'm going to take all this time out to film and edit and spend half a day and not do a stream because I'm doing a game review, people need to watch them. It's that simple. I've improved all that. How much have I improved this year? The audio quality with this mic, the video editor I use to do the review. Everything's better now, but I need that buy-in from you, the viewer, that you're going to check out the content that I'm putting out. And I'll be honest, I really was taken aback today. I looked at the results for September because it closed, as a month with the analytics and all the data, and I was like, you gotta be shitting me. How? And maybe there's something wrong. Maybe YouTube made a miscalculation, but it is what it is. The numbers are what they are. I'm going to get paid when I'm getting paid, and it's the worst month that I've ever had, and I'm just like, how? When I had, solid performance on certain games. It must be that people literally just, we watch Metal Gear and watch a little bit of Mad Max, you watch a little bit of Soma, okay, and that was it, and there was no buy-in, there was no, I'm going to watch the whole thing, and that's kind of what happened. I was stuck with maybe 4 major games the whole month, and most people didn't watch the whole thing. They watched 1 or 2 videos, and they went away, and unfortunately, that's what happened. So I'm hoping this month, we got good games this month. I'm really excited to play another Disgaea and Transformers and Metal Gear Online. I'm very interested in Dragon Quest Heroes, which is a hybrid action RPG with all kinds of cool elements, and the conclusion of Life is Strange, a DLC for Witcher 3, Halo 5, WWE, Assassin's Creed. There's so many, right? Please, I hope it's a solid month this month. Really, I could use it, and after that month of September, I need something to kind of motivate me to get back on the horse, you know what I mean, and feel positive again, and I do. I want to feel, I'm excited for the games. I just want you to enjoy the games with me. I don't know what happened in September that made people maybe not tune in or something, but let's come back strong in October, all right? All right, so that is it, everyone. Thank you. I'll have more information regarding this status of the September Patreon and, if we're going to do the October event in the next few days. Fingers crossed, out of the 20 people who were declined, some of them read their inboxes and they fix their pledges, because I really want to do the event, but I got to stick to my guns. I'm very much looking forward for more Crash 2 tomorrow and to get into the new games this week. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Peace out, everyone. And this week, no patron crawl, because unfortunately, like I said, the patron pledges aren't done yet. Once they're done, next week we'll start with the patron crawl thank yous and stuff like that. But for now, I'm DSP. Thank you very much for tuning in. This has been the Week in Preview. I'll see you for new games this week, and peace out. Very nice.